What's going on, guys? Boss6 here, back to another video, and today I'm going to do my review of Elimination Chamber that just happened this past Saturday. I do apologize for not having this video up yesterday. I didn't have enough storage on my phone, so I'm doing it on my computer, and God help me on this one. So, this show, solid show, really solid show. I really dug this show. But sometimes a solid show with a hot crowd can make it a great pay-per-view. So yeah, the crowd alone really helped this pay-per-view stand out. And, well, let's get to the matches, shall we? Again, not that many matches. Not going to go too long in this review because I don't want to overextend it. But let's talk about the first match, which was the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which whoever wins gets to face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 39 for the Raw Women's Champion. You have Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Carmella, Natty, and Nikki Cross. Solid match. Uh, Probably the best way to open up the show. And overall, it was an entertaining match, but there was a couple of issues I have with it. Mainly the elimination order. Okay, eliminating Nikki first wasn't a bad idea, and then Liv gets eliminated next. Okay, so you're probably thinking, okay, it's going to come down to Natty and Asuka. And then all of a sudden, Natty gets eliminated, and then Raquel gets eliminated, and now it's down to Carmella and Asuka. Why was Carmella in the final two? That makes absolutely no sense. But then again, nothing in WWE really makes sense in all honesty. But Asuka won, thank God. Carmella really shouldn't have been in the final two. Really should have been. If it was up to me, it would have been Liv. If you want to do Maddie because she was a hometown girl, okay, fine. But I don't know why Asuka was one of the last participants. It just didn't make any sense. There were some cool moments. There was a pretty cool sunset flip powerbomb from Liv off the top of the pod to Raquel. That was some pretty cool stuff. And Nikki does her typical crossbody as usual. And Asuka looked like a killer in that entire chamber. So overall, we're off to a solid start. And then we get Brock versus Bobby. The weakest match of the show, but I thought it was damn entertaining for what it was. It certainly wasn't a great match, but for a big man match where two men are just smacking the meat off of each other, it was an alright match for what it is. Went about 5 minutes, which, to be fair, it really shouldn't have went more than 7. But I thought they put on a pretty entertaining match for what it is. Now, the finish was a bit flat, which will be kind of a running theme throughout this entire show. But I did enjoy the aftermath. The aftermath really made up for the finish. Brock was in a hurt lock, low blow in front of the ref. I understand why they did it. Yes, it was finisher festy, but you won't expect these guys to put on like any technical or chain match wrestling. Two big boys want to beat the hell out of each other. We're going to have ourselves an entertaining little fight. And there you go. Yes, ending was flat, so we didn't really get a conclusive winner in all of this. But the aftermath was fun, where Brock just F5 Lashley all over the place, and poor referee Chad Patton, he got involved too, and Lashley got put through the announce table, and then Chad got put on the announce table after it got disintegrated by Brock. Fun aftermath. I don't know what's going to happen next, because I don't know if they're going to have a blow-off match at Mania, or what's going to happen, or there was no intentions of Bray tonight, so I don't know if that story is going to go anywhere, but all in all, solid match for what it is, even though it wasn't really the best. And by far, it was the weakest match of the show. Speaking of things that were kind of shocking to how entertaining it was, mixed tag match between Beth and Edge against Rhea and Finn. As much as I do not like and do not care for this feud, this was actually a pretty entertaining match for what it is. But the biggest flaw of it was the miscues. There was some really bad timing on this, particularly Beth big Mr. Q big time, where she was supposed to break up a pin where Finn was on Edge, but Edge kind of had to kick out at like 2 3/4, and Beth missed a big moment there. So that was a bit awkward. Dominic got involved. Cool. We got a Beth and a Rhea show off, so that was pretty damn entertaining. I really hope those two have a match somewhere down the road. But all in all, solid match, entertaining for what it is, considering I didn't care about the feud. And Edge is hinted in the press conference may or may not be one of his last big matches. Probably gonna have a blow off match at Mania against Finn, presumably in a Hell in a Cell match. And he's actually gonna be challenging Theory tonight on Raw. So overall, entertaining match for what it is. Shatter Machine at the very end, which okay, see how it is. See how it is, says FTR. So there you go. All pretty solid match. Then we get to the U.S. title elimination chamber. Theory, Rollins, Gargano, Reed, Priest, and Ford. This was a hell of a match. This was better than the women's match by, I wouldn't say a landslide, but it was by far the best. I do have complaints with the match, but I'll get to that here in a bit. Ford put on a hell of a performance. Rhea was made to look like a monster. Seth was over with the crowd. Gargano had his moments too, but there was a couple scary moments. And Theory did jack all in this match. Literally, it felt like he did nothing. In all honesty, and yeah, just good stuff. Priest did his typical, if I can speak, his typical big man stuff. The problems I have with the match are as follows. One, Gargano nearly spiked himself twice on two scary, stupid spots. Gargano was on top of Reed's shoulders. He got hit with a clothesline. Then he turned it into a poison rana on Reed, and he came within that close to landing it on his neck. That was stupid. Then Seth and Rollins, Seth and Johnny, they're on top of a pod, and Gargano looks like he's going to get powerbomb off and onto a pile of people, but he counters it into a Hurricanrana, so Seth lands on everyone. That was a very contrived and stupid spot. And the ending was so flat. I understand why they did it, but damn was it ever so underwhelming. So Ford had a quote unquote almost got knocked out. He got taken out. He did put on a really damn good performance, I will say. So he had to get taken out, and that opened up the that opened up the chamber. All of a sudden, Logan Paul shows in, attacks Seth, hits that buckshot lariat that, yeah, it kind of hits a little bit better than Paige, but Chris Canyon did it first and did it better. And hits the stomp on Seth, which looked like he was about to do a bicycle kick for some reason because Logan's an idiot, and Theory wins. So yeah, flat finish to a really good match. I'm not interested to see Seth versus Logan. I really, really, really hope Seth just curb stomps Logan's useless ass into the Earth's core. And then we get the main event. Sami versus Roman for a world title. Roman came out first, which kind of a smart move on their part. And then Sami came out and got one of the most goose-bumping inducing pops in recent memory. That was electric, to say the least. Sami's wife was out there too with some really damn good stuff. Honestly, damn good match. I'm not even saying it for crowd reaction. This was a damn good match. Very big one I see in 2006 and Money in the Bank 2011 feels, in all honesty. But big fight feel, good stuff. They cut a really good pace. Sami is underdog from the underground like he's been through his entire career and put on a hell of a performance with him and Roman. Roman getting a little personal with the wife. That was pretty damn good. And Sami with that never say die spirit. The only complaints I have is, I forgot to mention this in the chamber match too, both matches went a bit too long. If they would have cut probably a couple minutes off, I think it would have been absolutely fine. But I understand why both matches went the length that they did. And the other complaint I have about this match, it's a minor complaint, bit overbooked. You have Jimmy involved, which I thought the Usos couldn't go to Canada because of their DUIs. So Jimmy showed up, super kicked Sami, a referee was down. Another referee comes in, he eventually gets taken out. Then Jay gets involved. and Sami inadvertently spears Jay. Then Roman spears Sami, and Roman wins, and the crowd went silent, absolutely silent afterwards. Which, yeah, that's gonna happen, unfortunately. And then they're about to do a beatdown on Sami. Then all of a sudden, KO shows up to a massive pop, beats up everyone, and then Heyman gets involved. And I about pissed my pants when this happened. Where Heyman's just kind of smacking KO, and he's like, "Oh no, no, I've always loved you. Screw him." Then Heyman took one of the best stunners unintentionally. It was so hilarious the way he just kind of just fell over was absolutely hilarious. And Paul Heyman, you are a legend, my good sir, and we love you. Where he hits a stunner, he's just kind of like falling back like this, like one of those tube men that you see out in the car dealerships. It was absolutely hysterical. I legit cried when that happened. And then KO lets Sami do all the work. There you go. Sami gets a feel good moment even though he didn't win the title. So, does KO still trust Sami after what all he did with the bloodline? Who knows? And where's Jay going to be in all of this? We'll have to see in the next coming weeks and eventually when WrestleMania comes around, which is 6 weeks away. So, that's it, folks. That is my Elimination Chamber review. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be reviewing Raw tonight. So, again, what you guys thought about the show? Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, tap that big red subscribe button, and tap that little bell for more notifications so when I upload, you guys will be notified. Thank you guys for watching this video. Most importantly, join the herd. Talk to you in the next video. Peace out.